to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And this is Home Repairs and Solutions, right here on AM 560 KWTO, heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 with Mark and Mary. I'm Mark.
And I'm Mary. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
So did you have a great Thanksgiving, Mark?
I did.
We did too. We had a little bit of family down. It was a little bit small this year, but that was okay. Had our daughter and one of our granddaughters went to Illinois to see her boyfriend's family up there. So we just had was just me and Paul and Nathan and his girls and my mom and dad. So it was very nice.
That's kind of nice sometimes.
It is. Usually we have a bigger group than that, but sometimes small is good too.
Yeah,
so.
you guys always have those big wingdings there,
We
so
do a lot of entertaining.
Yes,
since we
you do.
Went to the lake, but we did that even before we went to the lake, so that's really not an excuse. So we just kind of used to doing that.
Well, I did something different this year. I got a big green egg.
I know you did.
Yeah, so I have to try it out, smoke the turkey, and I'll tell you, I love smoke. A lot of people fry them nowadays, deep fry them or whatever. I'm still one for smoking them. I like smoked turkey.
We've done it both ways too, and I prefer it smoked as well. Fried's good just for something different every now and then, but it seems to me like if you're going to fry turkey, that's just like some other summer day or something.
Yeah.
But for Thanksgiving, I like to have it smoked too, or something, and just tradition, I guess.
Yep, that's kind of the way with me. And we got a special guest here in the studio today.
We do. We've had a lot of great guests on the show.
We have.
But this has got to be my favorite. I got to tell you,
can't imagine
this is my
why.
favorite guest. And we appreciate him coming and helping us do the show today. My husband, Paul, is here with us today. And as most of you know, we own Spring Mountain Air, heating and air conditioning. And he is the president of the company. He started the company, I don't know, about 100 years ago now or something like that.
Much.
But,
you got me blushing right now. I can't believe this.
So, during the holidays and stuff, people are busy with families and friends and all that. So sometimes it's kind of hard to get a guest to come on. So
it is.
So I just sweet talk my husband into coming and doing the show for us. So we're glad he's here.
Yeah. And see, most everybody else will be out shopping. But Paul, he's a trooper. He's right here with us.
Not me.
Yeah, is your wife out shopping? Does she do the Black Friday thing and get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and all that?
No.
I don't either.
No. I figured this way. If there's a good sale item, hopefully it'll still be there later that day, because I'm not going to be camped out there at 4 o'clock in the morning like some people I've seen.
I don't even go on Black Friday. I just stay home, and I'm a big internet shopper though.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you can get the same price or sometimes even less on the internet, and it works out great for me because then I'm not standing in line or trying to go to the store and they don't have what I want. And the UPS man brings it to the office, and Paul puts it in the car, and I just have to wrap it. So it works out
That
great.
works really good for me. I don't have to shop at all. I hate shopping.
Yeah, then Paul doesn't have to even deal with any of it, but put it in the car.
Works good for me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, a lot of our Christmas shopping and stuff that I've already done, done it online too. Seems to be more the trend. A lot more people are doing that. The only reason I go out on Black Friday, or whatever they call it, I guess that's what they call it.
I think they still call it that, yeah.
Yeah, now, like I say, going out at 4 o'clock in the morning ain't going to happen, I can tell you that. But, that day I just do it just for the challenge. I love getting out there and just watching all those people. I don't buy anything. It's just the idea of watching all these crazy people run around. It's entertaining.
It's just a people watch day for you, huh?
Yeah.
You're a better man than I am, Mark. I'll tell you what.
You just get comfy on a mall park bench and just watch it happen.
There you go, and just watch it happen. Let her go. That's right.
Well, if y'all see Mark sitting on the park bench, wave.
So you hang out with Bass Pro. That's what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. Hey, Bass Pro's a good place to hang out. Let me tell you.
You betcha.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Done that several times, but no, the internet with technology, things have just changed so much. The way we shop, the way we, the way we even buy cars. We go research them now on the internet, this, that, and the other. And it's the same way I'd say with heating and air. A lot more people.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Now. And I don't blame them. I would too. I research everything before I buy it now.
Yeah.
It's just so easy. It's so accessible,
Sure.
to do it that way. And which is one of the reasons why, one of the things that I wanted to bring out today to our listeners is that, we have a website, but we are in the process of completely redoing the website. And we're real excited about it. If everything works out like we think it's going to, we've been working on it about, a month now maybe or so?
Oh, probably a month and a half at least.
We are going to launch our new website Monday, the 28th, I believe it is. And I think it's really going to be a neat website. First of all, we are going to have the capability of putting the Home Repairs and Solutions show on as MP3.
Great.
So we're going to,
Yeah.
it's something that we've been wanting to do for a while. We've had some difficulty with trying to get that accomplished. And so we've found someone who's working with us, and I think that we're going to get that done. And then, aside from that, he is also going to make it compatible so that we will also be on YouTube, which I thought that was pretty exciting.
That is neat.
So come Monday, I'm not sure what time Monday, he's going to come back by the office sometime in the afternoon. So it might actually be Tuesday morning before it actually launches for someone to go on and do some research. But it's going to be very user-friendly. Very easy to navigate, lots of good information. You can still contact us. You can still email us if you need service or repairs, estimates, whatever you might want to do. You can go in and check out any of the Home Repairs and Solutions show. We record those, and I've been recording them for that reason, so that we'd have that information to do that with. And we're also going to have some fun stuff on there. We're going to try to be able to keep it a little more interactive than we've been able to in the past. And he's going to set that up so we can actually do some things from the office, so that if something comes up, or if we want to run a special, or if there's something that comes up that we need to be able to put something on and change something pretty quickly, we can get that information to the public. And so that's just a pretty exciting thing that we're in the process of doing right now. And I'm hoping that the people really like what they see and find it very easy to use. So look for that. That's, we're excited about that. So
Yeah. And it's amazing the amount of folks that they'll either contact me or you or even the radio station here and say, hey, who was that guest you had on, 3 or 4 weeks ago, or they want more information about what we was talking about. This is a good way that they can go back and listen to the programs, get some more information off there.
Absolutely.
Call the person. I had somebody, I can't remember right now who it was, I was talking to just the other day, that had done a show with us back several weeks ago, and got a call actually the other day. Still yet people, wanting their services.
Absolutely.
And so, people remember it, and but that's a great way for them to go back and listen again and do a little more research there.
Sure.
Call.
Or
Yeah.
if they happen to miss it that Friday, something comes
Sure.
up and they can't
Oh, yeah.
listen, then they can always pick it up on their spare time or whatever.
Right.
They can either via YouTube or on our website, which is www.springmountaineer.com. And it's going to be real easy to find. And we're also going to try and put some little video clips on there of our company, different things that we're doing around for our clients and stuff. So I think it'll be a fun site, I think. And it's, like I said, it's something that we've been wanting to do for a while, and it just takes a while to get all that put together. It's
Right.
not a quick thing to
Oh,
do
no.
for sure.
No.
But I definitely think it's going to be worth the time and effort we've put into it.
I think the duct cleaning, we've already got one of those duct cleaning tapes out there of our guys.
We do.
And I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about duct cleaning. They think it's like a wetback going out there and sticking a hose down into your duct runs and pulling all that dirt and stuff out. It's a lot more involved than what you think, and you cannot believe the stuff we get out of there. We even had one customer that one time wanted to make sure when we got done to look for a diamond ring.
Wow.
So we went through all the stuff in the bottom of the can that it collects in to look for that diamond ring. We never did find it. But And again, we've pulled out some of the most bizarre things you've ever seen.
Well, I bet.
You just
Yes,
can't believe.
we do.
And the kids put down toys.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Kids love ductwork.
Yeah, you bet.
They'll put, especially if you give them some change. Next thing you know, they're putting it down that.
And it's ting,
that
ting. They like that noise.
They like the noise, I
Yeah,
guess.
and they can listen to it run down inside the ductwork, and
Yeah.
so if you've been in your house for a while and you've had some kids or whatever, and you want your ductwork cleaned, let them know that you've got some change or some money missing, and they'll sift through it and see if they can find your silver dollars or whatever disappeared when your children were young. So
Yeah. Well, that's something that folks hopefully will remember that you guys do, because that to me is very important. If you got clean ductworks, that means that your system runs a lot cleaner, a lot more efficient. You keep a lot more dust and dirt out of the air. Probably the filter won't clog up as fast.
That's
too,
right.
And,
Absolutely.
And if you got a problem with asthma or allergies or stuff,
Yeah.
they'll help too, because a lot of that stuff, believe it or not, is dead skin, and a lot of people are allergic to that, and the dust
Right.
mites and stuff that comes with it, and the mold and the spores and all that good stuff comes in the fall and the spring. And so get that out of there.
I know this is a question that's been asked on the show several times, but I'm going to ask it again. What do you recommend? What's the best type of filter to use on your?
That's a loaded question. I mean, just for you can go down to Walmart and buy the filters, and they're fine, but they don't really capture all the really fine particles of dust and stuff. A good pleated MERV rated filter, which they start at like 4 and they go up to 10, 12 and beyond. We have filtering systems that are pretty darn expensive that get out 99.9.7% of all allergens and dirt and stuff. Up to I think 300 microns left going through the filter, which you take 300 microns of dust and put it on a head of a pen, so that's pretty fine.
Wow,
so
yeah.
it's pretty good, and we do that. A lot of people, housewives, don't like the dust. Well, I don't like dust. Mary makes me do it all the time.
every chance I get, because
Yeah.
I hate to dust.
I hate the dust too.
I do too.
So anyway, that helps on the dusting. And Mary figured something out when we put our filter in our house when we used to live in Nixa. The TV screen, that's really collects it. And she said, I'm not cleaning the TV screen like I was. And so it made a huge difference just in cleaning the air. So it's a good thing.
Something I've noticed since we moved in this house that we're in now, we have a fireplace, and it's amazing the amount of dust that we get because of that fireplace.
Yeah.
And the TV sits right over here close, and everything else, and it's like, wow, I guess there's dust, from the ash and stuff, and so I know that's sucking right up into our HVAC system.
So you need a new furnace?
Not yet, but we will here one of these days. The furnace is old, but it works.
It works
It's
still.
still
That's a good
working.
thing.
Probably not very efficient, but it works. But I know in that situation we probably need to replace the filters and use a better filter.
Oh yeah.
And so
In the long run, it saves you a ton of money on repairs and everything. You got that, Mark?
I got it.
Yeah, all right. It does. You got to imagine any dust that gets in your system, your bearings and your motors, anything like that, eventually is going to break down whatever moving parts you have.
Right.
So it's a good thing to have a clean system all the time.
And one thing, I mean, for all you folks that have a computer, if you're like me, you don't pay much attention. You get to looking at the back of the computer where the fan is, and you're thinking, oh my God, this thing's just caked with dust and stuff on there.
Yeah.
Well, just think how it's pulling into your system and everything.
Oh yeah.
If your little computer fan will suck that much dust and dirt in, just think what what your heating and air conditioning's doing.
It really does.
Yeah. And another thing that you probably ought to have done as far as maintenance, and especially I would say this time of year you probably don't think about it, but as we get closer to spring you need to, and that's probably have your whole unit serviced and clean, like your coil and everything in there to get it good and ready for the air conditioning season.
You would be surprised how much stuff collects on that evaporator coil, especially if people have pets, cats and dogs. Our guys clean them coils every spring, and you can't believe the stuff goes on top of them coils.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It's thick.
Yeah.
So,
And that hurts your efficiency of your. Of your
big
unit.
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, will that cause one to, I've seen them just be like a big chunk of ice in there. Will that cause that to freeze over? What causes a coil like that to?
Well, if you don't get the
freeze
proper amount of
over.
air across the coil,
Uh-huh.
in air conditioning, it definitely causes it to freeze up because there's condensation, and that if that coil is not getting enough heat transfer,
Mhm.
it gets colder and colder, and then it'll freeze. And
Okay.
then you'll be calling us and going, we got a problem.
Mm.
And usually it's when they see a bunch of water all over the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you're going, what's going on here?
And it thaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I get a question for you. This is probably a loaded question, but I wondered that. I mean, you guys are Amana dealers. Why Amana?
Well, I tell you what, they're becoming one of the top-ranked companies in the United States as far as selling residential heating air.
Mm-hmm.
They also have fantastic warranties, bar none, to anybody else out there, and they take care of the people out there. We've been dealers for other people. If one of our customers have a problem, we have, like on our 16 SEER and up, if you have a compressor go bad, most of the time we get a compressor when we go out there and replace it. Well, if you have a 2 to 5 year old unit, you're going, as a homeowner, going, I've spent a lot of money on this. That's not a good thing. Well, they have a unit replacement warranty on there on 16 SEER and up. So we just get a new unit and put it out there instead of a compressor. So everything's brand new. So that's really
wow.
a nice feature there.
Sure.
So, as a customer, they're taking good care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps us too.
Sure.
And it makes it easier for us to sell our product to the public.
Well, and it's also made in the United States, right?
Yeah, everything. Houston, Texas, and
Yeah, Paul's been to
well,
the
that's something
plant.
and then
Yeah.
down at in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
So it's made in the United States, which is a pretty big deal to us.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that are working there are living here in this country, and the money's staying in this country. And
the other thing we also have, and I didn't mean to step on your toes there.
go ahead.
They bring in equipment every other day up to our suppliers. We've been in a situation with other dealerships where we've had to wait a week to 2 weeks, and if you're without heat or cooling,
Oh, you get
that's
a
not a
little
good thing.
cranky. Yeah.
They get cranky, and they'll leave. They'll go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
And even though it's not your fault, it reflects on you.
Exactly.
It does. Now, like Paul said, we've handled several different brands of equipment, but we're always looking to improve our services to our clients, and part of that is the manufacturer or the distributor we work with. They've got to have the product available, and they've got to back it, and they've got to have the end consumer in mind as well. So, and like you say, a lot of times, if it's a manufacturing defect or something that is caused, not by anything that we did, then that still, reflects badly on Spring Mountain
Absolutely.
Air. I mean, people don't
Yeah.
sometimes think, well, you put it in. Yes, we did, but sometimes things happen from the manufacturing standpoint. But when it does, they seem to, so far, they really back up their product, and they really want to take care of the client, not just the dealer.
Right.
So we've been extremely happy. As a matter of fact, it's funny you asked that, because when I was on Morning Line this morning,
Really.
yeah, Dan asked me that question. He said, he said, I know that you guys are Amana dealers, and he Googled it. And he said, that's one of the top selling lines in residential equipment. So that's funny you had that question, because Dan was thinking the same thing. So that's one of the reasons. That's the main reason, is because of the great availability, the great warranties, and that they really, really care not only about their dealers but the end user as well. So and we have very, very few issues.
Yeah,
with their equipment.
that's the other big thing. I don't want to have very many issues. Every once in a while, we'll have a manufacturer have a issue with their products, and they'll go, "Oh, there's, it must be you,
Yeah.
the dealer."
Yeah.
And then 6 months, 8 months down the line, they're going, "Oh, we got a problem." Well, by that time, our customers are very upset. Everything we've been putting in for Amana has been really, really. It works very well. It's easy to install. Our guys like installing it. That's another thing. If it's easy for our guys to install, it's going to go in better, and it's going to turn out to be a better job for the customer. So we really like that. And with this new communicating stuff that we have now, the furnace and the air conditioner talk back to each other. You think, okay, that's a piece of high-tech piece of equipment, and it is, but it actually runs better. It knows what to do, and it also learns how your cycles, when you're using it, it learns from you what you want from it.
Right. Kind of like
it's getting to be crazy at what this stuff can do. We put one in. We replaced ours down at the lake the other day, and I absolutely love it. You can't hear it. It runs better. It's just a nicer piece of equipment, and our utility bills are really good.
Well, and it seems to keep
more even
the
heat.
Temperature is, throughout the entire house is a more even temperature, and like Paul said, it's very quiet, which is good because it sits outside one of the bedrooms, the spare bedroom, but still when we have guests and stuff over, they don't, you don't want to hear something rattling and clanging outside your bedroom when you're trying to sleep, and it's very quiet. So we've been real happy with the way that these systems have worked for our clients, and the backup and the support we have from the manufacturer as well. So that all went into play with why we decided to go with them.
That's great. Paul, was you saying she's the one that rattles and clangs?
You ain't kidding. She.
Now you're not going to be my favorite guest if you don't watch it.
Here now, don't get no fight started here.
Mark started it.
Hi, don't get Mark in this now. I've been in enough of them, believe me. Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're heard every Friday morning right here on AM 560 KWTO. If y'all notice, we're doing something a little bit different today. We know everybody's out shopping, doing other things, so we're just sitting in here talking.
We're just talking.
We're just talking, and y'all just continue to shop or sit back and listen and think
go.
about what you want to call in next week and ask us. We'll
right.
give all our listeners a day off and to enjoy and listen, and
That's
a
right.
lot of folks are still, they're off work, they have family there, and relax. And I want to say, matter of fact, speaking of that, hello to my buddy John Heights here at Remax House of Brokers. John's a faithful listener every week, and I seen him today, and he said, "When you gonna say hi to me on there?" And I said, "I will do it." So
there you go.
Yeah. So
there you go. We try to accommodate all of our listeners' requests.
We do.
We do our best.
We have some great listeners.
Yes, we do.
And we kind of laugh about it sometimes. We may do a show and not have any calls, but people tell us that we interview too well sometimes, and we cover everything that they want to ask anyhow. So they just sit back and listen. So.
Well, that's true, and that's pretty neat. And we know they're listening because, like you said, we get calls in later, or the station gets calls in, and so we have a log that I bring with us every time we do the show of all of our guests and their information, their phone numbers, and that type of thing. So if someone does want to call during the show or after the show and want to get some information of someone who we had on in the past, it's readily available. We can get that to you. And I think Bonnie at the station or some of the girls there have the list as well. So if you want to call the station and ask, they can also get that information out to you. But like I said, with our new website, hopefully you can just go there and get it.
Go there and get it.
So
yeah,
that'd be exciting.
Oh yeah, that'll be a really neat thing to have up. So, people want to save energy. That's our main goal. We want to save every little bit of money, that we can. Does replacing the thermostat in the house, is that an energy saver to do that?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the new digital stats we've been putting in. Programmable stats work really well. When you leave the house, you turn the lights off. You might as well turn the thermostat down. You might as well turn it down or up. Either one. Depends on which season. And that'll save you up to 10 to 15% on your utility bill, which is quite a bit.
Right.
So it is a really good thing to do. That's the best thing they ever invented is a digital stat, because back when I started, we had mercury thermostats and the old bimetal, which were horrible.
Yeah.
And we had to set the mercury stats to the heat anticipator, which I know you folks don't know about. Most of you don't. And if you don't do that, then the furnace didn't cycle properly, didn't come on right, and then we had a lot of problems that way. And then you have kids go down the hallway. First thing you're going to do is hit the wall.
Yep. That music means it's time for a break.
It is, but
Already.
we'll be back.
Now if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
And here we are back at the second half of the show.
That first half was a quick one.
That was quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is always the fastest hour of the week for me.
Boy, it is for me too.
It's just amazing. I can't believe it goes by that quick.
Yep, it does.
All of a sudden we're here, then we're gone.
Yeah.
I don't know why that works that way. But
I know, but it does.
they say time flies when you're having fun, and we always seem to have fun.
We have
so
fun.
maybe that's it.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
I bet that's the reason right
I'll
there.
bet so.
Yeah.
Well, now that you got Thanksgiving behind you, you got anything else going on this weekend, or are you just kind of off this weekend with your
Well,
music? and-
actually, just kind of off this weekend. Don't have really any music stuff going. Just kind of a relaxing rest of the weekend.
Well, that's okay. You need those once in a while.
You know, yeah.
Kinda recharge the battery
Kind of
and-
recharge and stuff. We're, I've been working the last week or two on the Convoy of Hope fundraiser. We do every year, which will be March 3rd. 2012. So I started spending some time working on that, trying to get some bands booked and this, that, and the other, and things lined up, and before we know it, that'll be here, and we got a few other small things to play, and of course, our GOBS organization, we're still, constantly working on that and to promote different shows and stuff, but no, kind of the month of December is kind of an off time, for us to kind of just regroup.
Well, everybody's always it's such a busy time of the year for everyone.
It is.
There's just a lot going on at the end of the year, and then pretty soon the kids will be out of school for Christmas break, and they have to find something to do with their children, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So there just seems to be a lot happening, and then we've already, I don't know about you, but we're already getting booked up for Christmas parties and different events and stuff, and so I was kind of trying to figure out when we could have a little party for all of our friends, and boy, things are booking up really quickly on us.
They do, and before we know it, it's that time of year. If you don't have your parties and stuff booked, why, you're just out of luck almost.
Pretty much. I think it just gets to be a super busy time of the year, and then Paul and I both do quite a bit of networking. We belong to some different networking groups and stuff around, and they're all getting their parties put together, and then my book club's having a party, and it's just party on, I guess.
Just party on.
It's all good, I guess.
It's all good, that's right. And we want to remind everybody also, don't forget about the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. We talked about them the last week or two.
Absolutely.
And if you want to make a donation to help the families that are suffering from the effects of the breast cancer, maybe from a mom or a sister or whoever, I know that they, at this time of year, put funds together to buy toys and different things for the for the families.
They're focusing this month on their children's fund, which is part of their charity as well. But and the you can designate any kind of donation, monetary donation, to them, and you can specify for the children's fund, and that comes in real handy. I was talking to Crystal just yesterday, and I asked her about how many children she thought they were going to have, and she said probably around 135.
Wow,
that's a lot. That's a lot of young children that are being affected, their households being affected by breast cancer. And so the foundation does a great job of putting together Christmas for all these children that maybe their parents otherwise, because of medical bills or different things that are going on with it, can't really afford to do Christmas for their children. So that's something that you might want to keep in the back of your mind. I know there's a lot of places to donate this time of year, a lot of people that need help, and you see the red kettles, and the bell ringers
Oh, yeah.
and all that. And whenever I go somewhere and they have one of those, I try to have a little bit of change or something in my
Yeah.
pocket. I can slip in there, either in or out of the store. But and then there's a lot of people, there's a lot of food banks. There's a lot of food donations being gathered up so
Right.
people can have, their Christmas dinners and that type of thing. But I don't know. I'm just kind of partial to the Breast Cancer Foundation. I think
Well,
they
me
do an
too.
amazing job.
Yeah.
And like we've said before, the bulk of their money, about 80% of the funds they take in, goes back out to help people. So I think that's probably huge for a charity. And so I'm hoping that they have a real good outpour of help with that this year. So
There's some fine folks over there.
they are.
And through you guys, you and Paul, is how I've learned about them, and I just fell in love with those ladies over there because they're so nice people, and
They're very nice.
they are, and great, sincere, and I rode, of course, in the charity ride, the Cruising for Cleavage,
You
Gene
did,
and I back.
and you won the
yeah,
top prize.
the poker run and stuff, and that was a fun day. But it was, the best part about it was knowing that we was helping out somebody that they really appreciate the donations. Like you say, it all stays right in our area here.
It does.
And they're just some fine folks there. So.
Yep, they are.
So support them, or if you have a favorite charity that you like to support
Absolutely.
during the holidays, why be sure and do it.
A big part of Christmas is giving.
That's right.
So you want to remember to, put back a little bit of money, maybe $5, $10, whatever you can afford, and find a charity of your choice, someone that are passionate about, and give them some money. You'll help them out, and it'll make you feel good too.
Make you feel good.
So-
That's right. It will. That's for sure. So, so we want to encourage everybody to do that if you can. So, I got a question for you, Paul.
Okay.
Now, I've always heard that. Well, I had a relative. I won't mention no names because she might be listening. But when she would leave for 3 or 4 days, she would turn the heat down in the house way down. Now, we're not talking down just a little. I mean, we're talking way down where it's only going to kick on just to keep stuff from freezing. In the summertime, she'd do the same thing. She'd usually turn the AC off when she'd leave for 3 or 4 days. Okay, she'd come home, and it would be just like, 95 or 100 degrees in there. Then she's kicking the AC on, trying to cool it down. Same thing, come home in the winter, and it'd be down, 35 degrees, 40 degrees in the house. You kick the heat on, and it just runs.
Well,
that can't be economical.
No, it's not. And people don't understand, especially on cooling. When they come back in and you got that 95-degree home, we got heat in the rug, the walls, everything.
Right.
It takes a lot more time to recoup take that energy to take that air conditioning to cool that house down to 74, 76 degrees. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So you actually are spending money when you shouldn't be. Now, we always tell our customers, 5 to 7 degrees on cooling, set down if you're going to be gone, and more toward the 5, really, especially with the high efficiency stuff anymore. On your furnaces, maybe 10 degrees. It takes too much energy to recoup whatever you're trying to put back in, so it's not a good thing to do. Another thing, in the wintertime, people start shutting vents off in bedrooms, and that's not a good thing.
All right.
Your inner walls are not insulated, and not only that, you could be shutting too many registers off, and you can overheat that furnace, and it'll start short cycling, and that'll cause repairs and could cause a heat exchanger to go bad too. So that's not a good thing. Those units are designed to cool and heat the whole house.
Right.
So,
well, and I've always heard of folks, and I'm sure maybe I've even done it and didn't realize it, but close 2 or 3 rooms off because, well, I don't want to heat that room, because we're never in there. We don't ever use it. So you end up closing down a couple spare bedrooms or stuff like that. That's not a good. You want to keep that air. It's kind of like an insulation. You want to insulate that room, and that keeps the load going at all times at a better temperature. And you start shutting the, like I said, your inner walls aren't insulated, so you're going to have cold start creeping into there, right,
making your furnace run anyway. So it's not a good thing to do. You need to really keep those registers open and let those rooms maintain that warm.
Right. Well,
And I never shut the doors in our house. I hate the doors shut. I'm a little claustrophobic, so the doors are always open in our
Yeah.
house.
She is. Even the closets.
Yeah, I don't,
Drives me
just don't
nuts.
shut the doors.
Drives me nuts like there's a skeleton going to jump out of there or something. I don't know why.
Now, I guess if a room has its own return air in it, it'd be a little bit different.
Well, yeah, but you still, I mean, you're taking that cold air. If that room gets cold and that return is pulling that cold air back there, it's got to go through a temperature, it's got to work
Oh,
that
that's
unit
true. That's true.
harder. So
Yeah.
it's really better to let the system do its thing. I have a question for you,
Okay.
since you guys build houses and stuff.
Okay.
What I've been reading is the houses are going to become smaller, not like what we had back in the boom with the big, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 square feet. You're going to go to more of a 2,900, 3,000, maybe 2,000 square foot homes, and they're going to start putting better equipment, better insulation, better windows and stuff. Is that true?
Well, yeah, it is. And a lot of it, as far as the better windows, better insulation, and all, the it's just like any other thing, like in heating air. The technology is so much better than it used to be. So houses are more efficient, anyway. But yeah, we're seeing more of that trend. We are building several 1,400 to 1,500 square foot houses,
Like they used to.
and people just seem to love them. They're more economical. We put the nice cabinets in them. If somebody wants granite countertops, that kind of stuff, we can still do it. We try to always put the better windows. Now we don't, you can get the Andersons and all those. We normally try to buy a really good quality vinyl window. And we started even using a lot of low E glass in the windows, which really helps on your heating and cooling bill. So yeah, to answer your question, that is true. A lot more folks are leaning that way and doing a little more quality stuff in the smaller houses, as opposed to building these 5,000 or 6,000 square foot monsters that cost a fortune to heat and cool. And here's another thing. Now, this has always just been one of my pet peeves. I don't understand, other than aesthetically, the looks, why we went to the 10, 12 pitch roofs. There is so much wasted space, in my opinion, there.
They're huge attics.
Huge attics, yeah.
They're absolutely huge. Yeah.
And you need to maintain that temperature. I mean, ideally, you should keep your attic temperature same temperature as what's outside. Your insulation does the work to keep your house protected from that. But for your shingles and everything, and your decking and stuff to work properly, it needs to be maintained at temperature. And you got thousands of square foot up there. That's just it's just so much different on your ventilation and everything.
You ask my guys when they go up into one of those attics and it's a 10, 12 pitch roof, and we got to get a flue pipe up through that roof.
Yeah,
we got to tie off, and it's unbelievable how much work it is just to get a flue pipe out through a roof too, and how dangerous it is.
Yeah. And it looks nice. It makes the house look a lot bigger, but that's just always been one of my things. I never did understand why we got away from the 6 and 8 pitch, to go to those big old monstrous roofs like that. But
you can almost park a semi in some of them big houses up in the attic. I'm not
yeah.
kidding. Unbelievably a lot of space up there. I know people sometimes go back and put room additions back up there.
Yeah.
And because they have so much space up there. Then they call us for heat and air. So I like that.
Well, my theory is when you have to build scaffolding up there to get it there to build the roof, it's too tall.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot of times. Our framers, because it's so tall, they can't get up high enough to work off of ladders and stuff up there. They build scaffolding up in the attic to get up there to work, to get the decking up or the rafters, and stuff. And that's too tall to me.
Well, I've heard it's because of the snow load.
Yeah.
And it also it's better when it rains. It's easier on the shingles.
It's true.
So I mean, and that's what I've heard from builders too. Why they like doing that also. I think it's because it looks nicer.
Yeah,
mostly.
I think that's the majority.
I
of it.
think that's what
I
it
don't
is.
really think they're thinking too much about how that rain's going to roll
No.
off of that or how the snow is. I think it's more.
That
how it
also
looks.
causes you problems on some of your valleys on the way of the house. Some of your house roof comes in too, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
It does cause some problems.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and man, we'll get some of these plans. It's just the roof is just absolutely so cut up. You just look at it and you're like, oh my gosh. You know, how's the framer even going to do this? They'll usually figure it out, but you
It
know,
makes it tough on them.
yeah, and there is that just that much more potential for leaks, you know, in the valleys and stuff when you got such cut up roofs. And I don't know, I'm just a simple person. I like the simple, you know, style.
Yeah.
But who asked me?
Well, I think another reason why maybe that's going on is because of the time factor. People are so busy, and it's very difficult. I think when you're raising a family and both people are working out now and all that, and you spend a lot of more time away from your home a lot of times than you do in your home.
Yeah.
And to have a great big house that you're trying to clean and maintain and manage and all that, it's just I just don't think people have the time to do that like they used to.
Sure.
And who wants to spend time doing that? You know, some of our listeners know that we sold our house in Nixon and moved to the lake into a much smaller home. It suits us a lot better because of our lifestyle and what we want to do. I don't want to spend all day on one day off cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, there's other things I'd rather be doing with my time, and I think more people are getting to that where, you know, maybe things are not so important as to have great big huge homes and all this stuff to maintain. It's better to have a comfortable home, and like you said, you can build a smaller home with nicer amenities, and not
We
have so
still
much
love
to
our
maintain.
customers with the huge homes, though.
Oh yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
do. We
I
do.
love them people too.
Paul very much likes to do the huge monster custom homes.
I love a challenge and trying to get heat and air in a lot of them big homes.
Yeah, he does. So that's kind of his thing. Me personally, I don't want one of those. Just from the management standpoint of
Yeah.
it, I'm perfectly happy with a lot smaller house.
Yeah.
and
She
it's
wants to
easier
know where I'm
manage.
at all the time, Mark.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, she can keep an eye on you that way.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, you know, it's the same with us. We went from, you know, about 3,000 square foot down to, you know, 1,200 square foot.
You made a bigger
Oh, I mean,
reduction than we did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it was just like, whoa, you know. But, you know, it's the factor of cleaning it and maintain. You know, it takes a lot more. And who wants to spend their time off doing that? You know, really.
You
Not
know,
really.
everybody gets what they call a maintenance-free home, and then there's still maintenance to do on.
Oh, there's yeah.
I mean,
there's-
you get these big brick homes, you still got to clean that brick
Sure.
or the vinyl or whatever, and that
Yes,
takes
you
quite a
do.
bit of time and money. So,
yeah.
so
You know, and like they say, there's no such thing as a maintenance-free home,
no, there's not.
and so it's you know, definitely a challenge when you have a big house like that and the maintenance on it. I mean, even if you got all brick, you still maintain those brick.
You
Or
bet.
you should.
You
a lot of people
should,
don't,
sure.
but you should.
hmm
And so yeah, it's a lot more people are doing that.
Yep.
Going smaller.
Well, that's what we did.
Yeah.
Worked well for us, so we like it.
Well, I didn't know if you've seen that trend yet or not here, or
Yeah, we're starting to more and more.
and single levels versus basements, or is it still a lot of people doing basements?
Still a lot of people doing basements.
Okay.
Right now, we have 2 walkout basements going that are specs,
Mhm.
and a split level that's a custom for some folks. Got another custom coming up that is a basement house, and so yeah, we're still seeing a lot of basements.
Okay. Well,
People tend to like the walkout basement.
well, Mary's getting older, and she don't like walking up and down the stairs.
Let me
Here,
tell you,
here,
yeah.
here.
No, I learned my lesson on stairs. Our house we just moved from, it was a what they call a split entry.
Oh,
And now
yeah.
up around St. Louis, they're really popular.
Yes.
Down here, they never did really catch on. But so no matter what we did, we had stairs.
Yep.
You know, we brought groceries in. We walk upstairs to get the front door. Once you get in the front door, you either go up or down, and it was always up naturally.
Of course.
And wow, after about 3 years of that, I had enough, and I told my wife, said, never again. You know, from now on, if it has a basement, that's fine.
Sure.
But just where I have to go down there every now and then, not everything I do. You know.
like if a tornado comes, the basements are
Yeah,
pretty
basements
handy
are
to have.
Pretty handy.
you
yeah,
betcha.
yeah. But So yeah, we're seeing a lot of basements. People still like the basements. They like the idea, especially families. Kids, because kids go downstairs and they play. Mom and dad stays upstairs, can watch TV. Have a little quiet time up there. And I think that's the main thing that people like about the basements.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually the younger folks and younger families that buy the basement houses. So.
Well, and it kind of works out handy too, because then if the kids are down there and you have company or something show up, then you can kind of contain the mess in one end of the house instead of all over the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason I would think that maybe if you had young children, a basement would be handy as well.
Yep.
Because then they don't have to scramble around and pick everything up, because grandma called and is going to be there in 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of leave the mess down there, and the upstairs is fine, and then you can do whatever you need to do from there.
Do whatever you need to do from there.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's right. So, back to the heating and air. What is the most important thing a person should be doing right now, as far as maintenance or anything?
Oh, you should have your furnace checked out right now by someone. We have a specialized camera that goes up in the heat exchanger, and I know most service companies have them, but we have a specialized camera that goes up. It's a high-tech camera.
Mm-hmm.
It can really see cracks and stuff and holes get
Really?
in
Wow.
really, really well. And the customers, Nathan goes out, or one of our service techs will go out, and they'll go in there. And the customers will actually grab the wand that goes into the furnace up in the heat exchanger, and they'll watch the TV camera down below, and they get involved with their own system.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. And they don't like when they find another crack or a crack or something like that, but they like getting up there and checking it out themselves, because it's really neat to do. So it's really, really important to have that furnace checked out this time of year. Carbon monoxide, as you well know, takes lives every year, because it's you can't smell it or taste it, and it'll creep up on you. We had a customer several years ago. It wasn't a heat exchanger, but the flue was it was not hooked together right, and every winter they was going to the doctor all winter long because they had headaches. And I went out and checked their furnace, and the flue pipe was, like I said, wasn't put together right. We put it back together and never had another problem again. So they spent a lot of money on doctors they didn't need to. So they were lucky.
Oh yes, they were.
They were very lucky.
Doubt. Another thing, I was in a house one time and I saw this. You have your fresh air inlet usually in the furnace closet or somewhere.
Combustion air.
And this person had took and covered that up with
the bottom one.
The bottom one.
They always do.
Well, they actually had closed the top one off too, and I seen that, and I'm just like, whoa, you can't do this.
The reason for that, they need them open, is it's the proper amount of air and fuel. Part of your gas igniting has to have the proper amount of air to ignite it. If it doesn't, then you start to kill that air, and it'll hurt that flame, and it'll burn at a lower heat, and it'll start setting your furnace up, and that'll start causing all kinds of problems. And I understand people will go, well, that's cold air coming in the house, but we need that to feed our fire.
Right. Well, and you could see where the door was. This furnace closet happened to be in the house, and you could actually see where it'd been sucking air under that door. I mean, there's a little gap under the door, and you could tell where it sucked air right under the door, because that's the only place it could get its air. So, for all the folks who always want to cover those up, why?
Please don't.
Yeah.
It causes you a problem in the long run. Yeah. And it's being burned anyways, pulled into the system anyway. It's not going out into your living room or hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep, you see all kinds of crazy things like that. Just like I'm sure what you see on cleaning ductwork, pulling out of the ducts. You just never know what you're going to run into.
Interesting, fun stuff sometimes.
That's what makes construction kind of fun, to get to go in these different situations.
Oh yeah.
I've got enough stories. I could write a book. The things I've seen and happened to me it's pretty interesting. But most of the time it's just meeting the people and seeing what they're about and what they do and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it is. And that, like you say, that's the neat part about our business, because we do get to see a lot of things, and see the way different people have done things. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know, see what sometimes the do-it-yourselfers they think they got it whooped, and that's when they call the professional when it don't work right. You know, and
Yeah.
it is a funny thing. And I know we do a lot of bank foreclosures and things like that. And oh my, you see some crazy things. You know, you walk into these places and it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, can you believe it? We are out of time.
You're kidding.
Already?
We are. It is time to go.
Wow, that was faster than the first half.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
Well, this has been Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO. Mary, you got anything going on?
I don't think so. I think we're just going to have a low-key weekend, kind of like you, and kind of get recharged for the next month and get things up and going for all the stuff we got going on in December. And I just wanted to say thanks to Paul again for helping us out
yes,
today.
absolutely.
It's always fun to have him on the show.
It is. Well, thanks for having me.
We'll be back next Friday right here on AM 560 KWTO.
Get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.